Lewis water system.
Hi,
Okay,
Jane. How are you?
good.
Here's the community water system. You're recording?
Yes.
Okay. Here's one of the fills to fill the common tanks. There's two sources. One of them is the well at Jane's property, and one of them is at the well on Richard's property.
What about Gotero?
He only receives water. He doesn't send any water over. I don't think he has a well. As far as I know, he doesn't have a well. He
No.
just receives water from the community system from the two wells on this property and the property to the south.
Okay, right.
So the water at Jane's house comes up this pipe, up over into the tank, and there's a bob float in there that keeps the tank topped off. And this line is usually always under pressure from Jane's well, from your well, right, Jane?
Right, so it's not all the way open, so it's
Right, so this is ramped down for a reason, so that it doesn't just take all your water from your well, so that we can spread out the draw off of both wells.
Okay.
The other well, Richard's well, comes up into here and fills the same tank. It has a bunch of old fittings. There used to be chlorine injection and this and that and the other thing, but all those have been disconnected or retrofitted out.
And that well is over here behind some of the wood. This is Richard's well on Richard's property. Okay.
Correct. And I sanitize both those wells yearly. And then once the water gets into both the wells, this one, normally the wells keep up plenty with the consumption of the three homes. So we have this valve shut off so that the water, all the water pours into this tank. This is a tank number 1. And with this shut and this open, this acts as a settling tank, and only water this high comes out and then equalizes into this well. So if the water level gets below this point, then it would draw down both tanks to this point. This one would stop, and this could draw all the way down until the low water shutoff shuts off your transfer pump that's inside. So the water comes out of both wells, connects here. They could be shut off independently, this one or that one, and then it continues up into here, and this goes into the pump inside that pressurizes the water and transfers it to the 3 different homes' private storage.
Okay.
And on the inside of the wall, you can see that pump working. In fact, it's working right now for us. So this line is the inlet into this pump, and this pump then pressurizes and pushes the water out to this pipe outside that goes to both Jane's and Jeff Gotero's properties, and up along the top through Richard's meter to his tank. So his goes straight down that way and over to his 2 tanks.
So this is Richard's meter right here.
Correct.
And where are the other meters?
Out here in the irrigation boxes.
And those are just covered up with dirt right now,
Yeah,
but
there's your meter and a shut-off valve, and here's Jeff's meter. This one so it should look like this. So we have him ramped down a little bit. He's not drawing right now. And so this goes this direction to Jeff's, and that one says like 53, 530,000, something like that.
okay.
And then your meter looks just like this, but
It's covered up with dirt.
the Gophers love underground storage places.
Okay.
So that's basically how this works in a nutshell. Inside here, if the water goes low, then this red light up here will go on, and then easily, from the house, you can tell if there's a low water issue with the wells. The inside here, on the other side of that box, there's the electrical that goes into the tank closest to the shed that has not only a low water shutoff switch for this, in this box. This is a contactor that turns this pump on or off if there's enough water in the well, or in the tanks, I mean. So if the water runs low, then this shuts off this pump so it doesn't melt this pump down and have it run dry. This is the control box and pump tech for Richard's well. And both of these are shut off with the breakers right here. So we got the transfer pump, which is this pump right below me here. The well pump, which is the one outside that energizes through these two boxes. And then Richard's pump, this separate pump's over here. So that'd be Richard's pump there.
And that pumps from,
That pulls from Richard's tank to his house.
Okay.
Through this treatment to his house.
and this pump pulls from,
The common tanks and pressurizes it to all three
out.
properties' storage tanks. Richard's being right here behind us,
Okay.
and yours and Jeff's. And let's see. Other than that, that's, occasionally this guy is obviously getting old. We try to squeeze as many years as we can out of it. I just topped off a couple of years ago. Actually, that's 4 years ago now. Boy, time flies. So this will eventually need to be swapped out. What will happen as this starts to fail, is the pump will cycle more and more frequently to make up for the fact that this is not storing any water under pressure anymore. It's just acting as a big rust can that the water's mixing in.
Okay.
They get bad after a while. Yeah, it has a little bit of life left, but not much. But this is a really quick swap out. All I have to do is undo that union and roll the thing out, roll a new one in, and
Okay.
screw it together. It's really easy.
Okay.
So as far as what you would need to know in here, there's not a lot. You need to know where the electrical is for the different pumps that turn stuff off, the well pump, and then the contactor for the transfer pump. And outside is understand the valving there. And let's see, here's the pressured line that comes from the common tank through that pump inside.
Mhm.
This is the main shutoff to shut off the line. From here it goes down, comes over, and it tees to feed the poly line that goes to Jane's house all the way over that way, and to Jeff's line that heads that way with his 2 meters in these boxes. So here's the main shutoff, and then there's individual shutoffs in each of these boxes before the meters.
Okay.
And these lines were redone after the really fun storm that we had, where it pulled all the lines up out of the ground and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a backflush line for Richard's filter pump, or filter, media filter, but that's kind of like what yours is. Let's see. I got to look at my notes to see exactly what this was again.
Jeff's.
No, because this comes
Oh,
straight
that's
from
mine.
your well. Yeah, that's flowing right now. It's topping them off right now, so the water's moving around right now.
But you're not sure what that,
Oh, this one goes?
yeah.
I think it might be a redundant line that goes back to your system. Let's see.
Let's look at that picture.